Well, it's hurry now. Good in you, not so bad. It's Wednesday morning. I'm waiting for a delivery. Look at these guys. How big they are already. You hyper or what? Just gave them fresh food, fresh water. And they already mucked the water up. Fuck, they just filled the thing in with sawdust. I don't know. Whatever. What do you guys think? Huh? Like the fuck are you looking at? No, you're all hyper? Huh? Oh, scramble. Whatever. What are you doing today, Rick? Well, I'm waiting on parts for that truck. So I figured it's drying out enough that I should be able to grade the driveway today. It's getting rough. I know Squatch was bitching about it when we had plow day. With the rain, it was what it was. So we're gonna service the old grader. It's been a couple years since I greased everything, and not that it doesn't fucking have grease in it, but it's always nice to freshen it up a little bit. So she actually spins pretty nice. We're gonna dive into that, check all four wheels, get them all greased, go ahead and lubricate everything, and I'm gonna dig around, see if I can find a nut for this fucking wheel, because I'm tired of dicking around with the wheel being off of it. So we're gonna see if we can find something like that laying around. That'll be interesting. Maybe we'll take you on a little digging in the fucking pole barn. On the public side, we've done it on the member side, so if you guys want to see those videos, you gotta go dig around over there and find them. I'm not gonna take you through all of it, because, well, then I don't have anything for the members. So so there you go. Let's get into it. All right, since I was already partway through that side that I was started on, I figured we'll start fresh over here, and sure, jack it up with interference, so it interferes with the wheel on the jack there, Rick. That was brilliant. I'm gonna go a little higher than normal, but sounds pretty good. Could use a little snugging. So this one has that bolt has been replaced with a carriage bolt, and it was probably a low grade bolt, so hopefully it'll come loose. It did a few years ago. It's probably been 18 or 19 since I did this. Oh yeah, it comes loose, no problem. We'll dig around and see if we can find another one. I don't know. Allergies today. Okay, then we take this outside nut off. I use pipe wrench on it. Now Luke can come screaming at me and say it's a fucking size, but I don't have that size wrench. So also it's so thin that it fucking, you have a hard time gripping it with a wrench. So, and this would be a time he'd say the crescent wrench is acceptable, but pipe wrench works. This old steel's hard enough that it doesn't hardly even flinch about it. So we need to snug some things up here. We're getting a little bit of play on it. This one's getting a little dry, so this will get pissed off. Oh, come on. Oh. Yeah. I'll dig around. Let's grab tape measure. I'll see if I got a wrench for that fucker. Okay, two things. I don't, 1.5" and 7/8. I don't have either one of those wrenches. I will order a set at some point. But additionally, I forgot that that is a left-hand thread nut. So she's loose now. We're gonna go ahead and take these off because I like these ones. They're still nice. And we'll just get our hands greasy. Fuck it. Fuck it. So I'm gonna grab some rags, grab the grease, bring it all out here where it's nice and sunny. I did the other one inside. It's kind of gloomy in there. So it's not bad, but it's not like working outside. And today's only supposed to be a high of 69. There's little to no wind right now. Just, it's a beautiful day. And I was gonna do some, I was gonna put subframe in that Jeep. That Jeep down there fucking needs a subframe, but fuck it, it's not happening today. It's too nice out. Maybe later this week. There's explanation. Yeah, whatever. Where is it? Grab my tube of grease. Why the hell did you put it back? Whatever. This one. So, ran the ocean. Pressure's on. Fixed the feller up with a bunch of grease up there too. There's that waterproof grease that I used on the chopper, and a bunch of Mobile 1 full synthetics, and then there's some in there that got dinged up ends on them. So you, like this one, it doesn't fit in the grease gun very well. So that's what I use for this kind of shit. Works out perfect. I mean, what more do you want? Right? Lots more. That's what I want. Lots more. So I'll show you what we're gonna do here, how we adjust this. We take our nut off here. Right. Perfect. Put that there. Slide this off. You can slide that all the way off. So, and set that over there. See, this one's pretty fucking dry. That one had plenty of grease in it. So, you take and loosen this up, and you slide this over. That's what gives you your adjust that side to side on this thing. Yeah, this one was getting pretty bad dry. Well, that's the way we service them, boys. There's plenty of residual on there, but she's dry. So I gotta get some wrenches, socket wrench, penetrating oil, blah blah blah. Loosen that up, slide it over a little bit. It is this diagonal piece. Sometimes it's gonna fight you. I guess we'll find out if that's the case or not. You can also put a shim back there too, but I don't particularly care to do that. Usually you can slide this over. Okay, so I was able to adjust that a little bit, but not much. Those bolts don't want to move a lot, so I'm gonna let it soak with some penetrating oil in it for a hot minute. And it seems like I'm probably gonna have to replace that U-bolt, because this one is already, I didn't notice it was already backed off. So it wants to keep migrating back that way as you put a load on the wheel. This flange back here, we want to give that a good coating of grease too. That's a wear point. So we still got plenty. We got a good 1/4 inch yet. That's not of play in this. It's not the end of the world. I'll try to dig around and find or make a new U-bolt for that at some point. And then we can come back and readdress. You don't want to make I don't need to make a ton more work for myself than what I already have right now, because, well, we're busy, folks. We're busy. Like I said, not the end of the world. Put your cap back on. Snug. You don't need to be tightening anything out of control here. Backside of this carriage bolt is square, so that's what we're using to tighten it up. And yes, Luke, I know I can square cut the head of a bolt and all that junk at some point, and we can do that. We'll do that. All right. So back wheels. Let's get into them, and then we're gonna go dig around for a nut. I don't know that I have a fucking nut though. The threads are a little fucking wing-dinged on this thing too. You notice it's a taper? I don't know that. I don't know that you're finding a nut for that fucker. But we'll see. Okay, back wheels are pretty near the same as the front ones. Come on. Turns out my hand is a hammer today. Not dry, but definitely could use some grease. Okay. I'm gonna crack that loose with a pipe. They get good and tight. Is that one not reverse thread? Maybe it's not, right? Nope, not on the back. Only on the left front. Okay. Note to self. See, the next time I do this, I can watch the video first. This one's even got a little wear on the nut from back in the day. I put a few miles on it, but not that many. Oh yeah, definitely need some grease. Pull her apart, grease her up. It was definitely time. I should probably do this every year when I get the grader out. Now the feller's got a little bit more time on his hands. Right. I say that like it's actually fucking true. But I should do it on a yearly basis versus every few, whatever. But it's more maintenance than what most of them get. Most of these things, if they're even getting used anymore, don't see any maintenance. They just get drug around and people bitch because they don't work right. I did notice I got a bolt missing on the oh, I almost dropped that in the dirt. That would have pissed me off. What is left-hand thread? Duh. I didn't even think about that. You gotta holy shit. Come on, Rick. Get with it today, would you? It's been one of them days, right? What can I say? That one. Where'd my cap go? It's right here. Here's. Throw a little on the threads. thread of the bolt, just for good measure. This one at some point has actually spun the cap, and they galled it in there so they didn't loosen the bolt before they tried to take the cap off or something, because you can see the gouge in the face of the threads where they ripped the bolt through. Nice! Same thing on the other side, and then we'll get on to the rest of it. So on that last wheel, in between the wheel and the hub, or the hub and the, however you want to say it, back in here on that back wheel, nice wad of copper wire, which I don't know where the hell the copper came from, but yeah. So that was our little treasure for there. So we got all the 4 wheels done. Everything's all lubed up. The only thing I couldn't adjust was that one there. Get some heat on it, and I'll dick around with it later. For today, it's good enough. So next thing is going to be grab the oil can and get all this stuff lubricated. It's all free, it all moves. But we want to keep it lubed up, and then we gotta pack our you can hear how they're how they sound there. We got to pack those with grease, and at some point I'd like to redo these so that fucking wheels don't have interference with the gears, but whatever. And then we'll go dig around and see if we can find a nut. So I'm gonna grab the oil can and that stuff, and we'll pack these with grease. All right, well, I was waiting for Napa to show up. I went and poked around in the pole barn a little bit. I didn't bring you with me, but I didn't find anything down there either. Not that's gonna work on that. So the question is that actually fucking tapered? Or is it a straight thread that's just worn the fuck down? Because like those are tapered threads on them. And I kind of have a fucking sneaking suspicion that that was just a straight thread and now it's fuckered. So, what do I rethread it as? I don't have any fucking dies that big. So, let's fucking go down here. I might have to text Squatch and see if he's got a die that big. And then I need a nut that big. Take this. Come on. Ah, wow. Holy shit. Okay. Zero, you bastard. Let's see what we got for a fucking size on this prick. It's gonna be fucking near 1 inch. That's that. So that's 1 inch shaft. So 0.89. 3/4, 7/8 thread. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna fucking, I think the hardware store in town has that kind of shit. Otherwise, I know Norbert does at Jensen Tractor. I guess I'm gonna have to run to fucking town, see if I can find a nut so I don't have to dick around with that wheel being off, because I really want to do some good cutting on the driveway today, so I can get that straightened out. This is where it'd be nice to have a big ass giant hardware selection. Unfortunately, most of them go to 1/2 inch or 5/8, which wouldn't do me any good at this point. And then once you get into a hardware selection that's bigger than that, holy shit, look out. You're better off buying them individually as you need them, because eventually I would like to get a nice hardware selection here, but that's later on down the road after we get some other things fucking hopping and taken care of. So I guess I'm off to town. Okay, we're gonna go grade some driveway here. So I ordered a 5-gallon pail of oil for the rear end of this thing. I just checked it. It had water in it when I checked it before, so I drained it, refilled it. It's still got a little sign of moisture in it, so we're gonna run it and then we can dump it, let it drain real good. You know, all those cavities and stuff get full. It sat outside for a while. All those cavities and stuff get filled with that oily mixture, and then pretty soon you got a problem. It never froze or anything like that because you didn't get that much water concentration in there, but from sitting outside it got water in it. So we're gonna jump on the old Super C copper scrap. I don't know what the hell that's from. I'm assuming I don't know. You can go in there with the rest of that. Well, let's jump on the C and go grade some driveway, shall we? Huh. Somebody's got to put his tools away first. Fuck's sake, Rick. Fuck's sake. Yeah. And I'm going to do some more plowing with this on another property. And it's probably about the same amount of ground that we turned out in the pasture, if not a little bit more. So we'll have plenty of plowing videos coming for you here. I might do it this week if the weather holds. We might venture out there this week and turn that ground. I know that gentleman wants to see it get done, but I do need to get the excavator out there and do a little rock removal first, because there's some big ones poking out on the surface. All right, so also I did go to run to town and grab that. It's a 1x4, 1x8 nut. I grabbed that from the hardware store. It does thread on there. It's not perfect, but it did tighten up, so we're gonna run with it for now. As you can see, she's got some wear from the years of service. At some point we're gonna have to tear these top ends apart, and you can see that one's the same way. What happens is they actually the spokes on the wheel actually interfere with the gear, and it makes it a little bit difficult to use because it only interferes on pickup. It doesn't interfere on set down, and then set down this thing wants to walk around. It used to have gear locks on it, but it only works in one direction to keep it from coming down. It doesn't keep it from driving the wheel up and then taking the pressure off the blade. So we have to throw a strap on it for that, or eventually we'll make some locking mechanism for it. But like I said, we gotta tear all this apart up here on the top, and you can see there's a pretty good amount of clearance there. We'll have to probably build new side plates for it, and then we can make some locks and all that other fancy stuff. It's just a plate on each side, and this doesn't have to be here anymore. This was for was horse-drawn at one point. I believe that's for the horse-drawn assembly side of it. So these pieces wouldn't have to be there, or we can build it up and rebore it. But either way, we'll take this apart at some point and redo it. But for now, let's get going. Okay, so one thing I forgot I was gonna grease here is this carriage. And up in this area, it doesn't hurt to smear a bunch of grease on this. You don't have to, but it does make it spin a little easier. In here, get in there. You can see where it Slides right there. So you got to give it a little bit of grease, and then in here as well, you want to give that a little love. All that along here. Rain washes that off. I should put that, next time I do this, I'll use that waterproof grease that Randy Olson gives me. That's good stuff, but I gotta get better gloves for working with it because it gets bad on the skin. Let's climb over here. I swear to God, we'll actually go grade the driveway in a minute. I swear. I'm telling you, it'll happen. Just be patient. Here, you sit here. It'll work faster if I can use two hands. About 2/3 of a tube of grease to do this entire machine. That's all right. Grease is cheap. Those old antique road graders, you don't come by them too much anymore. Most of them gone by the wayside. A lot of people have scrapped them and junked them out, so try to do what I can to keep the old relics going. Michael Brash, I appreciate you for the rags once again, buddy. It certainly does help out. So we got our pin released. We're gonna go ahead and slide this thing around a little bit. Look at that. How many of them fuckers move like that, huh? I love it. Yeah, I gotta love it. Let's go do something. just second gear, just off idle. Nice and easy. Going nice. Going nice. Make sure you're making a straight line too when you need one. Curves are curves and straight lines are straight lines. Some of those fucking operators, holy Christ. You can't make a fucking... The township road is supposed to be a straight north and south road. They can't make a straight north and south road the same as the fucking line. Drives me nuts. Cut the edge. Make it nice. None of this stuff is rocket science. Just make it nice. Oh yeah, we're building some material back into the road now. What I'm going to do is I'm staying out just a little bit on the driveway, so we come back with a second pass and it doesn't build up as bad on the end of the blade. And then you'll be able to throw that back in with the windrow. So you're looking at least 8 to 10 passes on this driveway. At least. Especially with this little thing. We're going to try to cut some potholes out too, and I'll show you here. See these? Those formed with the rain. They form on every road. That's the purpose of grading. But you want to be able to cut them out the best that you can. And up here is a pretty good example. Straight in front of us, where it got a little bit of washboard going on. This is where moisture content in the road is really important, especially with this light grader being able to cut it. You gotta have some moisture in there. There's a little bit of water on the surface. That won't really matter. Once we start moving the material around, it dries out pretty fast. So this end of the road is pretty hard too. And when we get down by the gates, it gets a little bit rocky. There's a lot of pit run. I need to put in about a 4-inch cap on this driveway as well, but we're going to try to reclaim what we can from the shoulder first. And then we got some projects coming where we need to get this driveway capped. Gravel prices have gotten insane, especially with the cost of fuel, so we won't be buying any gravel. We're going to have to be crushing it.